Thank you so much for introduction, and thank you, It's Nice Dad, for having me. And I'm so sorry, I'm the first one, I'm a bit nervous. And yeah, as Matt said, my name is Turkina Faso, but actually it's my artistic name. But my real name is too complicated to remember, which is Russian, so it's Ekaterina Turkina. So it doesn't make sense to be a photographer with that name. So, and actually it was for me a long journey since I started, because I started in 2004. I started as a medical student. I went to academy and I didn't feel like that. My grandfather wanted me to become a doctor, and yeah, I had no choice, so I spent 2 years there, and then I turned 18 and I left, and I actually left home. I left hometown, I went to Moscow, like a proper pilgrim, and I tried to find myself. I went to journalism, so I'm actually enrolled to journalistic university. I finished that. I graduated as a journalist in art. And I mean, during that time, during that period, I was trying to be a photographer because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to work as a photographer because we didn't have in Moscow at the time like BA or something like that, or good short courses even. So I was doing just experiments and a lot of mistakes probably. So I was doing random things, and I started to photograph my sister, and Matt said her name is Alice, and now is our kind of common journey through space and time with her. She's 8 years old on this picture. So I started to do just random portraits of her because I was back to hometown and I didn't know what to photograph. So I had her as a great model, as you can see. But still, it was just, you know, kind of nice try to test myself, to spend time with her, because we have such a big gap. I'm 31 and she's 17. She's my best friend now. But at that moment, I was older. I was like, you know, in university, and she was just 8. And we had this gap 14 years. And I didn't know what can we discuss or how we can spend time together. So actually, photography became a tool to keep us together, to explain some, you know, unexplainable things, or like, I don't know how to actually talk about it. So it's really personal thing. So photography became a friendship tool as well. So, and then I went to, I came to London and I finished my master's here. And as a part of my master's, I began this project about my hometown, because it's really funny. I didn't feel like a Russian or whatever when I was in Russia, obviously. And I came here and I discovered my identity. And I discovered that actually to take photographs, to tell the story, I don't need to go somewhere like London. I need to go back home. And I went home. I met Alex again, and she was 14 at the time. It was the age when I left my hometown. So it was this, you know, critical moment when I grew up and I wanted to leave desperately. I didn't want to spend time there. And I just wanted to recapture that moment again. So, and I said, yeah, let's try to merge my past, your present, and maybe some future in these pictures. So we created this fake family album. We went through, you know, all the emotions together again. I was trying to imagine myself 14 years old or 15, becoming a woman or whatever. I don't know how was that. Like, it was kind of funny and also sad, because I realized that actually I can't turn time back. So this work became something personal for me and just visual for people. And I'm really thankful for British Journal of Photography, because the editor just said, oh, I showed him like my pictures, like my editorials and stuff. I had a lot by the time. It was maybe in 2014. And he said, you know, I actually like this work. By the time I had a book already, so it's just one picture. I obviously didn't put everything into my presentation, but if you go on my website, you can click on me and them back home with Alice, so you can see entire book. So I showed him this book, And I was a bit shy because I wasn't sure if it's interesting to someone because it's my personal stuff. It's my hometown, which is in the middle of nowhere. Sorry, I didn't introduce this place. So it's like Russian Twin Peaks. So nothing happens there. It's like North Caucasus, which is in the south of Russia. So it's kind of a beautiful and abundant place. Nothing changes there. And imagine, I left that place 15 years ago. I came back and it's still the same. So that's why I had a great opportunity to capture that again, to capture my past in 2014. And we were shooting this during a few years, like maybe 3 years or 4 years, yeah. And then we started to do different projects together. Just tests, editorials, even commercials, just whatever. And I called it like magical realism because I used really simple things from my grandmother wardrobe, from the basement, old stuff from my mom, things from secondhand. Actually, we created another book based on secondhand stuff from the area. But it was really magical because these simple things, they became something else just because of us. So we were just playing and enjoying the moment. And you know, as a photographer, I have a lot of commercial jobs, I have editorials, a lot of pressure, but this is something that keeps my work and my soul alive. I don't know, maybe, yeah, it's something familiar to you as well. So, yeah, just put some images. Actually, that one on the left is collaboration with a sunglasses designer. This is from another personal work. The left one, also the book. This is an editorial we shot in Sri Lanka this year. So we don't stop. We try to. And this year was really important for us because we celebrated 10 years together. And we had exhibition, like a massive exhibition in France, in Vichy, which is kind of similar to our hometown because it's also based on mineral water. Because where I'm from, it's called Turkey. It's a mineral spring resort, like a mineral water resort. Sorry, my English is still not perfect, so I hope you understand what I'm saying. So, yeah, and it was really interesting that they invited us to have this exhibition in Vichy, which is like similar to our hometown, and it was like 48 photographs, and it just finished a week ago, and we could see our pictures in Paris on the like stations and stuff. It was so exciting because my mom was always like, "What are you doing? Can you just relax? Can you just stop for a second because you need to take these pictures, you know, during the sunset, sunrise, whatever." And it was always a hassle, so I couldn't rest actually properly. And that picture is from L'Officiel Italia, just editorial we've done together, because the editor of magazine just asked us to repeat this, things we were doing. And she said, "I want this model, I want this stylist, and I want you, and do your thing." So, and yeah, it was kind of exciting. And now my sister started her own career as a model. So she has agency, they represent you in Russia, and we still work together, obviously. This is also from the book. So I will just quickly jump back to this book, because each picture has a story behind, but I never tell them, because it's kind of this like slides from my head, from my past, but for you it's just visual content, which is also fun, because some people like they interpret them in different ways. So, and I obviously have lots of memories in them. So it's like a trick of photography. It's a time machine. It's like a tool for friendship. It's whatever. It's like it's really powerful. And I found that, for example, I can't go back that often to my hometown. I obviously can't go back to my teenage. I can't meet someone from my family anymore. But I can recreate that moment again and again in my photographs, and I can enjoy that forever, basically. So thank you.